Good evening, everyone. And first at 5, we have new information about 4 women who disappeared in recent months, then were found dead in and around Portland. Today, the Multnomah County DA's office announced law enforcement has found a link among those victims. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Mike Benner has been reporting on these cases for weeks and joins us now. Mike, have detectives said who or what that link is?
Laurel, what they're saying is that they've identified a person of interest, and that person has ties to all 4 victims. Now, a local newspaper is going one step further and reporting that the person of interest was actually granted clemency by former Oregon Governor Kate Brown a little less than 2 years ago.
From left to right across your screen, Kristen Smith, Charity Perry, Bridget Webster, and Ashley Reel. These are the faces of 4 women, no older than 31, who went missing and turned up dead in rural areas in and around the Portland area. All of this unfolding since late December.
My name's Carrie Rawson, and I'm the daughter of Dennis Rader, the BTK serial killer.
Perhaps it's due to her own life experiences, but New York Times bestselling author Carrie Rawson always thought a serial killer could be behind the deaths of the Oregon women. Authorities, however, have remained tight-lipped until Monday. That's when KGW learned that investigators and prosecutors from 9 different law enforcement agencies had determined links between the deaths of Smith, Perry, Webster, and Reel.
You see that long list of agencies working together and that now have connected 4 of them. That's amazing, like boots on the ground work.
No charges have been filed in any of the 4 death investigations, but a person of interest with ties to all 4 victims has been identified. While authorities aren't naming that person, the Willamette Week is, and his name is Jesse Calhoun, a man with a rap sheet dating back to 2003. The newspaper is reporting that former Oregon Governor Kate Brown granted clemency to Calhoun in March 2021, partly because of his work on inmate crews fighting wildland fires. Approximately 2 years after Calhoun returned to the streets, the women's bodies were discovered. Calhoun's commutation status has since been revoked, and he's back behind bars.
He's probably not a first-time offender. You just don't start doing this all of a sudden. Whatever it is that he's done, you got to go back anytime he wasn't in prison, and there's a lot of work there.
In the meantime, Rawson says the families of Smith, Perry, Webster, and Reel have a long road ahead of them, and they must look out for themselves.
Nothing's going to bring him back. You just have to figure out a way to keep moving forward with your new reality, unfortunately.
All right, it's worth mentioning the body of a 5th woman, Joanna Speaks, was found in rural Clark County back in April. Her case is not among the 4 that have been linked, but we can tell you the Major Crimes Unit in Clark County is looking into the possibility. Anyone with information about her case, or any of these cases for that matter, should contact law enforcement. Back to you.
We certainly look forward to more details on this. Thank you, Mike. Hot, dry, and windy conditions this weekend created the perfect scenario for wildfires to break out. One of them started yesterday afternoon near Carson on the Washington side of the gorge. Now, the good news is all evacuation orders have now been lifted. At one point, there were level 3 go now notices. Fire crews were able to suppress the fire with quick and aggressive action. Another fire is also burning right now southeast of Estacada. There are level 1 be ready evacuation notices in that area. You can find the evacuation map on KGW.com. This is being called the 224 fire and has burned 40 acres so far.
And it is not just wildfires that are causing concern. A pile of debris started an early morning house fire in southeast Portland. This was just before 5 on 33rd and Franklin, where the debris somehow sparked outside the house with flames spreading inside, tearing through the back of the home. A neighbor told our photojournalist that fortunately the homeowners were out of town. And just about 90 minutes before that blaze, there was another one in southeast Portland, this one on 34th and Washington. It destroyed a 2-story home that was vacant and also brought down some power lines. No word there on the cause. Dramatic video showing street racers taking over the Fremont Bridge
in Portland this weekend. The sounds, you can hear them, of screeching tires. You saw even fireworks fill the night, and what has been an ongoing problem for the Rose City. And that wasn't the only place that dealt with street racing this weekend. Our Daisy Caballero is at Northeast Fremont and 72nd Avenue with a look at the aftermath of the street takeover. Daisy?
Well, yeah, Laurel, I wanted to give you guys a look at the aftermath of last night's takeover. You can see skid marks, pieces from cars and tires still scattered on the side of the road here, even after a few neighbors came by to clean up. Now, people living nearby say they heard gunshots, fireworks, and tires screeching for at least 2 hours here at the corner of Northeast Fremont and 72nd. Here are a few videos from the Snapchat map filter where you can see both spectators and cars flooded Portland streets, blocking off traffic completely. But this wasn't the only location. A 7-Eleven store off Northeast Prescott and 60th Avenue was looted during a takeover there. And in less than 20 minutes, $10,000 to $15,000 worth of merchandise was gone. Looters left with their hands full of things like cases of beer, cigarettes, and small snacks after going behind the register despite the workers' pleas to leave. The owners tell KGW he spoke with police, but they couldn't do anything about it.
I can't help you out because too much crowd outside. I can't do anything. And if they broke the windows or anything, then I'm coming. Then cop is coming. I say, oh, you guys waiting for somebody kill us? Then you guys come, and they say, I'm sorry, I can't help you out, and they hang up the phone, and that's all.
Do you think that's an okay response?
Oh no, that is very bad for the cops. Respond. It's very bad.
Now, the mayor's office tells us Portland police are beefing up their traffic division again post-pandemic and have started performing stings at street takeovers, resulting in arrests. Now, also Senate Bill 615 increases penalties like forfeiting a vehicle used in street takeovers and also criminal penalties for those who organize these events. Back to you guys.
I think I speak for a lot of people watching. That's pretty outrageous. Thank you, Daisy. Detectives are asking for the public's help to solve a shooting in North Portland. This happened Saturday night at North Kirby and Failing. Witnesses say a man with a gun and a man with a knife in the area were fighting. At one point, one of them was stabbed, while shots were also fired. Police believe a woman who was at the Mississippi Street Fair was unintentionally shot and seriously injured in the chaos. They're asking anyone in the area with doorbell or surveillance camera footage to contact them. They believe the incident may have been recorded. The men involved in the fight ran off.
Developing this evening, an attack on the top Japanese diplomat in Oregon is highlighting a surge in hate crime cases, and police say the suspect who went after Japan's Consulate General in downtown Portland has a history of unprovoked attacks on Asian people. Kyle Aboshi is in the newsroom. Kyle, first of all, how is the diplomat doing?
David, the Consul General was taken to the hospital after suffering a cut to his head following last month's attack. He appears to be fine. In fact, earlier today, he emailed me suggesting the incident hasn't changed his positive perception of Portland. So here's what happened. On June 17th, Yoshioka Yuzo, the Consul General of Japan in Portland, was walking near Southwest Park Avenue and Oak Street in downtown Portland when he was jumped. Someone shoved him to the ground, causing the 62-year-old diplomat to hit his head on the pavement. Police say it was unprovoked. A witness followed the suspect several blocks before police arrested 23-year-old Arissa Robinson. According to court documents, the attack is part of a broader pattern, Robinson targeting people of Asian descent. Last year, prosecutors say Robinson assaulted a 76-year-old Asian man on Southeast 82nd Avenue. In that incident, police say Robinson hit the guy in the head repeatedly, then placed him in a chokehold, cutting off his air supply and preventing him from yelling. The victim in that case appears to be doing okay. Prosecutors charged Robinson with felony bias crime and assault in the 4th degree. Robinson remains in jail. Last year, the Oregon Department of Justice hotline saw a really big jump in reports of hate crimes and bias incidents, up 72% from the prior year. And officials theorize that's likely an undercount. Unfortunately, a lot of bias incidents, they just don't get reported.
Thank you, Kyle.